Well, Black Panther, remember the original one? Yep. Okay. And they're all set to shoot the second one, the sequels of that, a Black Panther, and their main star dies. And the producers, went into panic. Oh my God. Now, set construction continued to go on, but finding who's going to be the new Black Panther, because of the money already being put into it versus the amount of money that you will lose if you don't have another sequels. And as the producer says, why did he have to die before we did production? Well, what do you mean by that? Oh, terrible and everything else. But in reality, is that main producers of films, in a film like Black Panther, every time your main character is in an action scene or a scene, you try to record them as the first ones. So all your movie is broken up into clips and segments. And if the main actor of Black Panther would have died 3/4 of the way of the movie would have been completed. But as I said, we have to figure out who's going to be the replacement. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. We're going to kill the queen. We're going to do this. And we're going to do that. And everything changed. I mean, literally speaking, everything was rewritten for whoever be the next person. But they had a female. Oh yes, Princess so and so. Oh yes, and they also did this. They killed the actor in the movie. That he is suffering from a disease, and we have to find a cure for them, and then he dies, and then they have the funeral for him. Okay, it's all built in. That thing is rewritten on that. He dies, and now we have the funeral for him. It's the same thing with the queen. She dies, and now we have the funeral for him. Who's going to replace him in that uniform? She is. Okay. That's nice. We have to recover our money. Now, I'm not too sure that there's a lot of questions. I look at this from the viewpoint of a movie maker and saying, what's that? Okay, action. But what's that? What's this great big gigantic ship in the ocean? What purpose does that big gigantic ship serve? Oh, something they can walk up and go down and go that thing. Oh, but we're really silly. What, that thing. And they're killing each other. Oh, and I like the one where Black Panther is run through with a spear. And she goes, click with the front of the spear. And then she pulls herself off of the spear. That hurts. I mean, it's all fantasy and everything else, but there's certain things that someone will come along and say, really? Oh, they did it earlier in the scene on a bridge where the Black Panther or one of the daughters would stab this guy, and he's dead. I just stabbed him. I just ran him through. He gets up and walks away. I would like to have more of a reality in a fantasy movie. Okay, it's fantasy, but I still would like to have more of a reality in a fantasy movie. So it doesn't, one of these types. Is it a good movie maker? Well, let's see. What does my listing say? Well, if it was shot for $250 million for the budget and it pulled in $860 million, I guess it's pretty good, almost a 3-to-1 thing. Not the greatest thing in the world, not like Avatar, which was made for $500 million, it got $2.5 billion in, but But I guess it's pretty well. There will be a sequence on this. It looks like they have set it up where there will be a sequence, a number 3 on this coming along. Because certain things were said and certain things were set up. So there will be a sequence to this. Will I see this? I will see this as I saw this one on a large TV. Sometimes I'm looking at this. Some of the action scenes were credible, and a lot of them are questionable. But this is a fantasy, science fiction fantasy film. Yes. But again, as I said, a lot of stuff is questionable. How do you get a machine off the bottom of the ocean and stick it on land way in? Which is, well, you're not supposed to question. You're supposed to accept what you see. Maybe I don't accept everything I see. Okay? But that's all. Well, will I go see the next one? Of course I will go see the next one. Will I see it on a large screen? Yes, I will see it on a large screen. I will accept all the theft? Well, I hope they get better script writers. Well, I hope they get better. I hope they start breaking it down to somewhat of reality, even though it's all fantasy. Oh, that's my bit.